Hello, and welcome to Four Wives on the Mic presents Wives' Tale, a weekly podcast which features adapted stories from the lives of real wives today. This week's story features a woman right at the beginning of her marriage. She starts to question everything. Is this really what she wants to do? My name is Mrs Nikki Tunji. This week's tale is called Baby Boy. Baby Boy. The room sparkled and gleamed, every inch dripping with Austrian crystals. White Casablanca lilies ornately covering each surface, giving the appearance of soft, billowing clouds floating as guests ate and drank to their heart's content. It's heavenly, she thought. It's just perfect. This is what she had always imagined, her perfect, beautiful day. He sat next to her in his white dinner jacket and black trousers. He looked sharp, and his haircut even sharper. She had to be careful not to cut her fingers against those razor-sharp edges. She giggled at the thought. He looked at her quizzically, held her hand gently, and raised it to his lips. He kissed her gently on the back of the hand, then buried his head into her neck. You look beautiful. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life loving you, he said in a gentle whisper. I don't know how I got so lucky, she said. They smiled at each other, unspoken words of love floating in the air between them. The journey to this day was no easy one. Bridesmaids' issues, extortionate vendors, battles over locations and catering. But sitting here now, seeing all their family and closest friends, it had all been worth it. They were finally here. Clink, 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 clink. The bride and groom looked up to see his mother with a champagne flute in one hand and a microphone in the other. Good evening, everybody. Everybody, good evening. I just wanted to take some time to congratulate my son and his new wife. Thank you to all of you for supporting our families and for being here today. I want to say a big thank you to Mrs. Shalewa. Thank you for coming to organize this wedding. And Mrs. Professor Alakija, thank you. Thank you so much for providing all the necessary equipment that we needed for our day, for our big day. And then I cannot forget my sister. My sister, Chief. She knew her mother-in-law well. This would take a while. This woman had insisted on inserting herself and her team of gangster grandmas into every aspect of their day. She had conceded and thrown their traditional wedding at them as though throwing a prime beefsteak at a pit bull. They ravaged and chomped at every detail, forgetting the white wedding until it was too late to have a say. She was happy to be putting the planning behind her, happy to put all the back and forths aside, and now start a new life with him, just the two of them. She was taken out of her thoughts as laughter began to ripple through the room. She was still talking. What had she missed? What did she say? She looked at him. Horror filled his eyes. He wasn't looking at her anymore. his eyes fixed on his feet. He will always be my son before anyone's husband. His wife should understand this. If I need to go to the hospital or if I need to go shopping, as he was before he got married, is how he will continue to be. He is my son. He will always be my son. No one can take my place in his life. As she said this, she pressed her palm to her chest, hitting every syllable as she did this. The bride, stunned, was still. She looked around the room. Every jaw had now dropped open. Even those that had initially fallen about, rolling with laughter, were noticeably uncomfortable and embarrassed. A silence fell upon the room. Her mother-in-law had every ear in that place, and she knew it. Furthermore, her mother-in-law continued to profess her love and unbreakable bond with her only son. Was this what the future held? Was he never going to stand up for her? Would she have to deal with constant interference throughout her marriage? Would she forever battle this woman for attention from him? Why wouldn't he stop her? Would he ever stop her? Were there no boundaries? So that's it for this week's tale. What do you think? Is that a clear sign of a man who will never, ever stand up to his mother? I hope you enjoyed the tale. I certainly enjoyed writing it and telling it. Again, big thank you for clicking on and downloading. I appreciate every single person who supports this podcast. Yes, again, please do like it if you like it. Subscribe if you love it. And share it if you love and like it. I hope you have a lovely week. Please do stay indoors, wash your hands, and I'm begging you, please stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.